What's your name?
Juan,
Complete name.
Juan Luis Beltran.
Okay. Is Mr. Bruckner still not there, you guys?
Yes, Your Honor. Bruckner is still not with us.
Okay. All right, Mr. Beltran, you have a warrant for disorderly conduct out of justice court. And I'm going to order you to come back to court May 12th at 9 o'clock, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. And then you have a case out of city court for criminal trespass. So I'm going to order you not to go back to the incident location and come back to court in city court on your trespass case on May 15th at 9:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Then you're released.
You can go to stand up, your stuff, head out that door, have a seat in the house.
What's your name?
Devin Blurry.
All right, Mr. Brewer, you've got a warrant for shoplifting out of justice court. And then you've got a new domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence assault. So on those, I'm going to order you not to have any contact with the victims, your family members, not to return to the incident location, no acts of domestic violence. I'm going to hold you on a $100 bond on each case, appoint Robin Auld to represent you, and set your hearing for tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Okay.
That's it, sir. That's it. What's your name?
Amanda Ganninghaus.
Amanda, did you say?
Yes.
All right, let's see. You have a possession of drug paraphernalia out of justice court from today. I'm going to release you on that. You need to come to court on May 12th at 9 o'clock, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. And then you have a bunch of city court cases where you continue to fail to appear. Drug paraphernalia, camping, criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia. So I am going to hold you on a $250 bond, appoint the public defender to represent you, the city public defender to represent you, and your next court date will be April 28th at 1:45. And that's it, ma'am. What's your name?
Eddie Gravia.
All right, so you have 4 counts of domestic violence, or 4 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and a count of domestic violence, criminal damage. I am going to appoint Janet Altshuler to represent you, and order you not to have any contact with Miss Sanchez and not to go to her residence. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. And I'm going to hold you on a $1,000 bond, and your next court date will be tomorrow at noon.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Oops, wrong folder. What's your name?
Cesar Chavez.
Okay. You have 3 counts of soliciting from a curb and not coming to court. So I will try one more time. Don't go back to that curb. Do not, and come to court May 19th at 9:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest.
All right.
All right, that's it.
Okay, the door. Have a seat right here.
What's your name?
You're a sketch.
All right, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 5 counts domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 2 counts of domestic violence assault, and a count of domestic violence criminal damage. I am going to appoint the city public defender to represent you, order you not to consume or possess any alcoholic beverages, no acts of domestic violence, and I'm going to hold you on a $1,500 bond, and your next court date will be April 28th at 1:45. All right, that's it, sir. What's your name?
Chris Gaines.
Mr. Gaines, you are charged with domestic violence, criminal damage. I am going to order you not to have any contact with Miss Allerin and no return to her residence. You understand?
The residence is mine.
Well, while she's living there, you're not to return.
Oh,
Okay?
she moved out.
You did, then fine. You're not going to her residence, are you? So don't go to wherever her residence is. No acts of domestic violence, no contact with her, and come back to court May 26th at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest, okay?
All right, gotcha.
All right. What's your name?
Arthur Garza, Your Honor.
Mr. Garza, you are charged with domestic violence assault, domestic violence unlawful imprisonment, domestic violence disorderly conduct. I am going to order you not to have any contact with Belia Romero, not to return to her residence. No acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you have any guns?
No, Your Honor.
No guns while the case is pending. And I'm gonna hold you on a $2,500 bond and appoint the public defender's office, and your next court date will be April 29th at 1:45. And that's it, sir. What's your name, sir?
Jamie Hensley.
You are charged with domestic violence, criminal damage, and domestic violence disorderly conduct. I am going to order you not to possess any alcohol or illegal drugs, not to commit any acts of domestic violence. You have any guns?
No.
Don't have any guns. While the case is pending, I am going to appoint the city public defender to represent you, hold you on a $750 bond, and your next court date will be on April 29th at 1:30. And that's it, sir.
That means I don't go home tonight? Is that what?
Unless you post that bond, yep. What's your name?
Gary Isaacson.
All right, Mr. Isaacson, you got a failure to appear from like 3 years ago on a indecent exposure. So I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you, hold you on a $250 bond, and your next court date is April 28th at 1:45. What's your name?
Angel Luna.
All right, Mr. Leno, you're charged with domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct. I am going to appoint the city public defender to represent you. I'm going to order you not to have any contact with Valerie Luna, not to return to her residence, not to commit any acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you have any guns right now that you possess?
No, ma'am.
And no guns while the case is pending, and the next court date will be April 29th at 1:45. I'm gonna hold you on a $2,500 bond.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
You're on, I was not drunk or anything, so how was I disorderly?
So disorderly means if you disturb the peace of another person, you don't have to be drunk to disturb their peace. If you threaten them or smack them or things like that. So anything that would disturb the peace of that other person counts, but I'll let you talk to your public defender about that, all right? And that's it, sir. You have a 45-day calculation for that, in case there's any steps, things I haven't looked at. Oh, and is there a Spanish interpreter here? Doesn't look like there is one, which is good because we don't need one, but you know.
Yeah.
She is here.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Spanish interpreter.
Good. We don't need you. Thank you. I'll excuse you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Interpreter is disconnecting. Have a good night. Thank you.
June 3rd. Okay. Thanks.
See?
What's your name, sir?
Robert, Randy.
All right, Mr. Ramsey, looks like you've got a drug paraphernalia and a criminal trespass from today. So I'm going to order you not to go back to the incident location, and you need to come back to city court on May 18th at 9:30 or a warrant will issue for your arrest, okay?
Here you go.
That's it.
Here you go.
You're released. Bye. Counsel, always lovely to see you.
Likewise, Judge. Good evening. Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Christopher Furman.
Looks like I got a warrant for you out of Graham County for a drug paraphernalia charge. It is got a very small bond on it, so I'm gonna release you, but, you need to report to Graham County Superior Court within, 72 hours of your release. So in the next couple of days, you need to call them, check in with them, do something to get rid of that warrant, or it'll reissue, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and that's it, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
What would you want me to? Oh, it's out the door, have to see.
What's your name, sir?
Philip Smallwood.
All right, you are charged with aggravated driving under the influence, 2 counts of aggravated assault, a count of DV endangerment, and 2 counts of endangerment. And the state is asking for a $10,000 bond. This defense wants to be heard.
Yes, please, Judge. I'm sure the court noticed Mr. Smallwood doesn't have any felony criminal history. The misdemeanors are relatively old. I understand, Judge, the reason for the state's recommendation is probably because of the uh, danger involved in the incident offenses. But Judge, I suspect Mr. Smallwood has a CDL, the commercial driver's license, that's going to be impacted. We have no objection to the court imposing any. Obviously, court will probably impose restrictions on his driver's license, but given a complete lack of felony history, Judge, we are hoping for release to pre-trial services this evening. Thank you.
Please.
Mr. Goodman, you want to say anything else? I'm kind of torn on this one.
Your Honor, this goes beyond a kind of wrong way down the street DUI. He was going the wrong way to the point where he even maneuvered around law enforcement. This isn't his first DUI situation. He does have a prior DUI conviction. So that's why the state's recommending the bond that it is versus release to pretrial.
All right. Plus with a minor in the car. Was it a minor or no? I'm sorry, I didn't.
I believe not, Judge.
No,
It was
no.
an adult son, I believe.
Yes, it was. He's 21.
Okay.
By no means am I.
Nothing more. Just different to the child, yes, sir.
All right. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Smallwood, order him not to drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs. I do feel like this goes beyond just a regular ag DUI because of them being on the freeway and the close call of several of these. So, and there is that older DUI, which makes me worry about the defendant's drinking history. So I am going to hold him on a $5,000 bond. Pretrial services if posted, and April 29th at 1:30 will be the preliminary. If I don't check cash ins. Yeah, when I check, I only check when I'm in cash. Everybody else is cash and security. Oh, really? We always learned that, like for me doing these for 18 years, we've always learned that, oh no, if you don't check it, it's. Yeah, yeah. All right, what's your name, sir?
Rafael Soto?
All right, you are charged with possession of a dangerous drug for sale. No, possession of a dangerous drug. And you appear to be eligible for to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony charges in your arrest record will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in that
Yeah.
program? Okay. So I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I will order you not to possess, consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. I will release you to pretrial, so you need to report to pretrial services. Your STEPS hearing, the diversion hearing, will be April 28th at 9 o'clock. You waive in time, counsel?
Yes, please, Judge. I believe that puts us to June the 3rd.
I had that checked too. So thank you.
Okay.
June
Of
3rd
course.
will be the preliminary hearing, but the important thing is your April 28th date, sir, okay?
Yes.
And you have 2 city court misdemeanors, a shoplift. So I'm going to order you not to go back to the incident locations. And you need to come back to court on both of those on May 18th at 2 o'clock, or warrants will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes.
You're released. What's your name, sir?
Candy L. Stringer.
You are charged with possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia. And you appear to be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug charges in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in learning about the STEPS program?
Yes.
So, but Mr. Goodman's asking for a $2,500 bond counsel, and I've got some really old cases of Mr. Stringers that I have to see him on city court. So do you want to be heard?
Yes, please, Judge. I talked to Mr. Stringer before court today, and I talked to him about possibly paying a bond if the court were to set one. And he tells me there's no way he can afford anything at this time. I know, Judge, I know he is maxed out on this, almost maxed out on the scales, but he avows to the court that he will make it to city court as well as take advantage of the STEPS program and be screened for it in case the court were to release him today. So he's really, really hoping to be released this evening, Judge, and we will waive time, obviously. If the court wants to release him, we're asking for that one last chance, please.
All right. Well, I will do it only because these are really old, the warrants that I have on city court, and he went for a long time without anything, maybe in other jurisdictions, I don't know. But because these are so old and here he is, I will give him one chance to be able to come to court and handle the diversion. So, sir, I will appoint a public defender to represent you. No alcohol or illegal drugs. I'll release you to pretrial services, so you need to report to them. You need to come to your STEPS hearing on April 28th at 9 o'clock. And you need to come to your preliminary hearing on June 3rd at 1:30, or warrants will issue for your arrest. Then your city court cases, you have a shoplift, 2 criminal trespasses, and then some kind of obstruction of something. So I will release you on those because they're really old, but you need to come to court. And those, you need to come to court on May 18th at 2 p.m. or warrants will issue for your arrest. And that's it. What's your name?
Trinidad, yo, meet you.
All right. You are charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault, temporary but substantial disfigurement. Sir, have you been in front of me in city court? I mean, on these charges? Have we been
No.
seeing you? No? Okay. All right. So the state's asking for a $30,000 bond counsel, and I see that there's input too from law enforcement on the recommendations.
Yes, Judge.
Do you want to be heard?
Yes, please, Judge. I think the concern that law enforcement had was about possessing firearms. If the court wants to order, I think it's a standard condition the court will order no firearms, given that this is a DV offense that Mr. Yocupicio is being accused of. Your Honor, there's absolutely no history, no felonies, no misdemeanors. And speaking with Mr. Yocupicio, he tells me there's no bond he can afford. So he's asking me to specifically advocate for release to pretrial services. Since he's asking me that, I will not be making an alternative bond recommendation at this time, Judge. We understand the risk factors and whatnot, but I have to advocate for Mr. Yocupicio. So yes, so release. Thank you.
So I will appoint the public defender to represent Ms. Fucio. I'm going to order him not to have any contact with Ms. Benavides, not to return to her residence, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. How many guns do you have, sir?
It was just the one, and she keeps making contact with me, bothering in the middle of the night and at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And then I asked her to stop calling me and bothering me, and she doesn't stop. I also know that she called me last week.
When you post your bond, if you post your bond, you need to turn your guns in to the sheriff's department within 24 hours of your release. No
That's-
alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no guns, surrender any guns. If you post the bond, you're going to be released to pretrial services and the bond will be $30,000. Your preliminary hearing is April 29th at 1:30. All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good night. Have a good night, Junior.
You too, Peter.